Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys All-Pro Micah Parsons sends four-word message to Commanders rookie QB Jayden Daniels. If you're following the player podcast realm across professional sports, then you've probably come across Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons, the Edge podcast. While we can question whether it's a good idea or not for someone on a team to sound off their innermost thoughts every week, what we can't question is how fascinating it is to get insight into the mind of one of the NFL's elite players week to week. Following an upset win by the Cowboys over the Washington Commanders in Week 12, Parsons took time on his podcast to praise Washington's rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels. "Jayden Daniels is nice as heck. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good," Parsons said on November 27. "Film doesn't really explain how good he is. I said this to him in the game, I said, I think you can be unstoppable. He's as fast as Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's as shifty, but he's fast. He's up there with like Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Lamar. His game speed is serious. I don't want to underestimate that. I think he can be a special quarterback on a really, really high level." While Daniels was very good in the loss, going 25 of 38 passing for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions to go with 74 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, Parsons was dominant in the win with 8 tackles, 2 sacks and 2 TFL. The Commanders were the NFL's hottest team following a Week 9 win over the New York Giants pushed their record to 7-2, the franchise's best start since 1996. Since then, the Commanders have lost 3 consecutive games and are now clinging to the 7th and final playoff spot in the NFC headed into a Week 13 home game against the Tennessee Titans. Daniels, the number 2 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, has gone from an NFL MVP candidate and the shoo-in for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year to now being looked at as neck-and-neck with Denver Broncos rookie quarterback Bo Nix for the latter. "Commanders have fallen off the cliff," The Ringer's Steven Ruiz said on The Ringer NFL show on November 27. "The offense is not what it once was. I think defenses have figured out how to take away what they've been doing with the RPO game on early downs, which has made things harder on third down, which has affected Jayden Daniels as we kind of expected." It's worth pointing out that this was the first meeting between Parsons and Daniels on any level. They never played against each other in college, and will play again in the final week of the regular season in Dallas. It should be the start of a rivalry that could stretch over the next decade. Parsons is in just his 4th season with the Cowboys and is already a 3-time NFL All-Pro. He's also in line to become the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history following this season, with a chance to eclipse the 5-year, $170 million contract extension signed by San Francisco 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa in September 2023. Giants starter's heartfelt admission bodes poorly for Thanksgiving Day versus Cowboys. The New York Giants season has officially gone off the rails. The Giants are 2-9, have released Daniel Jones, and cannot even keep Tommy DeVito healthy. On Thursday, the Giants travel to Dallas to face the Cowboys for their Thanksgiving Day game. The rivalry game was already sure to be a challenge, but things got a bit more difficult for the Giants. Starting left tackle Jermaine Illuminor will not play against the Cowboys. It is the first time since he became a starter 3 years ago that he will miss a game. After being ruled out with a quad injury, the Giants' offensive lineman took to social media. "Tried to get healthy to play tomorrow, but it was just too quick of a turnaround. Haven't missed a game since I became a starter 3 years ago, but I'll be back next week for sure. Hope you all have an amazing Thanksgiving, and as always I appreciate the support," Illuminor wrote on X, formerly Twitter. The Giants' offensive line already had their hands full. The Cowboys have Micah Parsons looking to be back at full strength. He had a fantastic game in Week 12 in a win over the Washington Commanders. So, losing your starting left tackle can only make things more difficult. Illuminor called out the Giants players for a lack of effort following their drubbing at the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. "I personally don't think everybody is giving 100%, said Illuminor, an eighth-year pro in his first season with the Giants. He later backed off his comments. "I think that I was little emotional after the game because I hate losing," Illuminor said. "I've just got to focus on my play and control what I can control, not comment on other people. Because that gets blown out of proportion, and it's just bad. Instead of calling people out, I think I can be more positive and try to uplift people more." The game in question that he ripped his teammates saw the Buccaneers jump out to a 30-0 lead. The Giants will look to avoid that on Thursday against the rival Cowboys. Interestingly, it is only the third time these teams have faced each other on Thanksgiving. NFL rumors, insiders speculate on wild Cowboys, Raiders, Bill Belichick scenarios. The Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders are two teams that could potentially be looking for new head coaches, depending on how their seasons end. One name that has continued to pop up is Bill Belichick, who wasn't able to land a job after parting ways with the New England Patriots last season. There's a chance that he can circle back after this season, and the Cowboys and Raiders could be interested, according to ESPN's Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler. "I also think there will be interest in Belichick," Graziano wrote. "I don't buy the idea of him in Dallas, where Jerry Jones is and always will be the GM and likes being the face of the franchise. And I don't buy him with the Giants, who don't know who their quarterback is going to be and have always kept their coach and GM in separate responsibility silos. As for Dallas, some candidates will be turned off by the spotlight and all that goes into working for Jones," Fowler wrote. But the Joneses have a strong relationship with Belichick, who values what the NFL's historical brands bring. The Cowboys are certainly that, and if anything, a Belichick-Cowboys marriage would be high entertainment. Belichick, if the Cowboys moved on from Mike McCarthy, would also inherit a roster that's not far away. Bill Belichick could possibly be the biggest coaching candidate this offseason, with several jobs possibly being vacant. Not only could the Cowboys part ways with Mike McCarthy and the Raiders part ways with Antonio Pierce, but the New Orleans Saints will be looking for a head coach as well after firing Dennis Allen in the middle of the season. Also, the New York Jets will be in the market for a head coach after firing Robert Saleh. One of the reasons teams possibly didn't want to hire Belichick this past offseason was that he wanted a lot of control in the organization. It's not certain if he'll ask for the same this time around, but Belichick is known for running an older style of football that doesn't translate with how things are done now. Regardless of that, Belichick has the resume that any coach would want, and that alone should help him get a job on a team that is desperate to win. There will be a lot of options to choose from, but the main thing to consider is if those teams will want Belichick. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Bill Belichick? Leave your opinion in the comments.